As one plan succeeded another, and engagement with the work of community building became more broadly based, advances at the level of culture became more pronounced. For instance, the importance of educating the younger generations became more widely appreciated, as did the extraordinary potential represented by junior youth in particular. Souls assisting and accompanying one another along a shared path, constantly widening the circle of mutual support, became the pattern to which all efforts aimed at developing capacity for service aspired. Even the interactions of the friends among themselves and with those around them underwent a change, as awareness was raised of the power of meaningful conversations to kindle and fan spiritual susceptibilities. And significantly, Baha'i communities adopted an increasingly outward-looking orientation. Any soul responsive to the vision of the faith could become an active participant, even a promoter and facilitator of educational activities, meetings for worship, and other elements of the community building work. From among such souls, many would also declare their faith in Baha'u'llah. Thus, a conception of the process of entry by troops emerged that relied less on theories and assumptions and more on actual experience of how large numbers of people could find the faith, become familiar with it, identify with its aims, join in its activities and deliberations, and in many cases embrace it. Indeed, as the Institute process was strengthened in region after region, the number of individuals taking a share in the work of the plan, extending even to those recently acquainted with the faith, grew by leaps and bounds. But this was not being driven by a mere concern for numbers. A vision of personal and collective transformation occurring simultaneously, founded on study of the Word of God and an appreciation of each person's capacity to become a protagonist in a profound spiritual drama, had given rise to a sense of common endeavor. One of the most striking and inspiring features of this 25-year period has been the service rendered by Baha'i youth, who, with faith and valor, have assumed their rightful place in the forefront of the community's efforts. As teachers of the cause and educators of the young, as mobile tutors and home front pioneers, as cluster coordinators and members of Baha'i agencies, youth on 5 continents have arisen to serve their communities with devotion and sacrifice. The maturity they have demonstrated in the discharge of duties upon which depends the advancement of the divine plan is expressive of their spiritual vitality and their commitment to safeguarding humanity's future. In recognition of this increasingly evident maturity, we have decided that, immediately following this Ridvan, while the age at which a believer becomes eligible to serve on a spiritual assembly shall remain 21, the age at which a believer may vote in Baha'i elections shall be lowered to 18. We have no doubt that Baha'i youth everywhere who are of age will vindicate our confidence in their ability to fulfill conscientiously and diligently the sacred duty to which every Baha'i elector is called. We are conscious that naturally the realities of communities differ greatly. Different national communities and different places within those communities began this series of plans at different points of development. Since then, they have also developed at different speeds and have attained different levels of progress. This in itself is nothing new. It has always been the case that conditions and places vary, as does the degree of receptivity found there. But we perceive, too, a swelling tide, whereby the capacity, confidence, and accumulated experience of most communities are rising, buoyed by the success of their sister communities near and far. As an example, while souls who arose to open a new locality in 1996 lacked nothing for courage, faith, and devotion, today their counterparts everywhere combine those same qualities with knowledge, insights, and skills that are the accumulation of 25 years of effort by the entire Baha'i world to systematize and refine the work of expansion and consolidation. Regardless of a community's starting point, it has advanced the process of growth when it has combined qualities of faith, perseverance, and commitment with a readiness to learn. In fact, a cherished legacy of this series of plans is the widespread recognition that any effort to advance begins with an orientation towards learning. The simplicity of this precept belies the significance of the implications that follow from it. We do not doubt that every cluster given time will progress along the continuum of development. The communities that have advanced most quickly, relative to those whose circumstances and possibilities were similar, have shown an ability to foster unity of thought and to learn about effective action. And they did so without hesitating to act. A commitment to learning also meant being prepared to make mistakes. And sometimes, of course, mistakes brought discomfort. Unsurprisingly, new methods and approaches were handled inexpertly at first because of lack of experience. On occasion, a newly acquired capacity of one kind was lost as a community became absorbed in developing another. Having the best of intentions is no guarantee against making missteps, and moving past them requires both humility and detachment. When a community has remained determined to show forbearance and learn from mistakes that naturally occur, progress has never been out of reach.